Sorry about that. I just went outside and I pissed all over a clown's face in the sewer. He stared at me funny. He showed me his teeth. I think he needs some dental care. How's it going, everyone? It is EdgyZiggy9538 here, and welcome to the next movie review, It. I saw this just a few days ago, and I thought it would be perfect to do this on the Halloween spirit. I don't know when this is going to be uploaded, maybe the day before Halloween, or hell, maybe it's 2 days before Halloween. I live isolated in a cave, away from reality. I don't even know what time it is anymore, what time of day it is. And in case you're wondering, this is my Halloween costume. This is my Halloween costume. It's pretty scary, right? DC fanboy. That is my Halloween costume. I'm pretty scary. So, I will keep this review as spoiler-free as possible. And keep in mind that this is all my opinion. You could have a completely different opinion. So I want to know in the comments, if you've seen this movie, what did you think about it? Alright, let's go! So obviously, before I have to talk about this film, I have to mention the 1990 miniseries. I actually really liked the first part, like the first half of the series. I thought that was really well done with the child actors and just their conflicts. It's a little outdated, but hey, it's decent. I liked it. And then the second half came and ruined everything with its really bad plot and terrible adult characters and acting. Why? Why did you ruin it for me, miniseries? Like, why? I didn't like the adult characters. I didn't like the story. It just felt terrible. It ruined the entire thing for me. And it's a shame because the first part was pretty decent. I liked it. So, it was a shame that the second half was just awful. It was bad. And I'm not going to compare this movie, the new movie, with the original book, because when I look at movies, I try to separate it as its own form of entertainment, but still keeping the roots of the source material, which this movie does well, thankfully. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about It 2017, the new one. The moment Pennywise showed his face in this film, I was hooked. I was like, holy crap, this is going to be awesome, because Bill Skarsgård did a fantastic job as Pennywise the dancing clown. He was just absolutely great. A great actor. That was phenomenal. It was amazing. Bill Skarsgård did a great job at Pennywise. But is he as good as Tim Curry? That's hard for me to decide, honestly. The adult characters don't have much screen time, so why am I even mentioning them at all? The budget for this movie, which is pretty small, it's like $20 million. The CGI is surprisingly decent, except in the beginning of the movie where Pennywise just flat out looked like the Pegasus from My Little Pony. I actually thought the story was pretty good, too. I mean, it did have its flaws, and Pennywise is kind of the most questionable monster when it comes to movie history. His motivations, at least. It's kind of questionable. But I still really enjoyed the story. I thought the story was really well done. The few negatives I could give of this movie is the choices that the kids make. Even I have to admit, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And then there's also the fact of the kids and how they're struggling with their home life. I felt that was kind of rushed, just a little bit. I wanted to see a little bit more of that, but honestly, those are just little nitpicks, so it doesn't really affect the entire thing. And I can forgive these kids more on their choices because they're kids. The kids are stupid, just like me. This movie is surprisingly funny. The dialogue kind of ranged from being funny to slightly cringe-worthy. The movie did make me laugh more than make me cringe, though, so that's something, right? The one thing that made me cringe is something horrible. And I'm not going to mention what, because, like, that'll be kind of spoiling, to be honest. This movie's kind of creepy, too. Like, that's to be expected. It's a horror movie. Like, you expect it to be creepy, but it actually kind of gives a psychological effect in your head. Like, it's not scary enough to the point where you'll have your lights on, or you had to cover your eyes throughout the entire film, or you have to, like, cover in the blanket and convince yourself that nothing's gonna get you under that blanket. It's not that scary. It really isn't. But it was creepy enough to the point where I started getting chills down my spine and just thinking, what if he's right next to me and he turns into my biggest fear? Like that. If you could do that psychological effect, you're doing something right. It's creepy. It's not scary though. And that's but still, if you're able to do that psychological effect, you get 2 thumbs up for that. But it's sometimes funny when Pennywise actually tries to scare not only the audience, but also the main characters. I feel like he overdosed on caffeine because he goes like this. Yeah, this movie's kind of ridiculous, but I really like that ridiculousness. I think it works well. Honestly, what's almost as creepy as Pennywise himself is the bully character. I think his name was Henry. He's kind of creepy just because of his emotional problems. Like, they kind of rush through it, obviously, because he's not a main character. He's not the main focus or anything like that. But I am glad that he has way more depth than that really lame bully from the 90s miniseries. I really like the kid characters in this movie, too. I really liked their personalities, and they actually talked like real kids, dropping F-bombs and cursing like sailors, you know? Not only did they do a good job on making me laugh and smile through their interactions, but they made me actually question if they were going to make it in the end. I mean, I've seen the movie in the 90s, and I've also read the book a long time ago. I know they're going to survive. If you've seen the movie, you know that Pennywise is kind of screwed up with these kids, and he's kind of a jokester when it comes to scaring them. And there are a few moments where he was so close to actually eating them that I actually said out loud, holy crap, is that person gonna die? This goes against everything I know about the 90s movie and also the book. If you actually make me question the safety of these characters, even if I know what happens, you're doing something right. You're doing something seriously right. In conclusion, I think this movie's great. Especially during this time of year. Great story, great characters, creepy scares, not really biggest scares. You're not going to get too scared of this movie, I don't think so. Unless if you're, like, deathly afraid of clowns, like, deathly. I had a few friends that are scared of clowns. They saw this movie just fine, honestly. But you have to be, like, seriously scared of clowns if you're going to be really scared of this movie. But trust me, I don't think it's that scary. I think anyone can go watch it. If I had kids, I would scare the crap out of them with this movie. It's great. I think this movie's great. This is honestly one of the best horror movies I've seen in a while. The thing is, all horror movies recently have been the same for me. It's like, oh, cheap jump scare there, cheap jump scare, dumb choices there, dumb choices there. That character dies, that character dies. That monster looks scary, woo. Okay. That's always the case with horror movies for me. Not this one. This one was good. This one was really good. And this is only chapter 1. This is the chapter 1 of the story of It. Chapter 2 will have our beloved characters as adults, just like the original miniseries. And while I did say I hated that part of the miniseries, I'm honestly excited for it because this movie was that good. I really hope that they don't screw this up. I really want this to be as good as this movie. This sequel that's coming out in like 2 years, I want it to be good as this movie. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It's pretty great. You gotta watch it in this time of year. If you haven't seen this movie yet, definitely check it out this Halloween. Go right now. You won't regret it for this time of year. For this time of year, even if you don't like this movie, I think it's a great movie for Halloween. It's that good. You guys gotta go watch it if you haven't seen it. I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic here. This is Halloween. I wish you all the best. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment below what did you think of this movie if you have seen it. And have a really safe holiday. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.